Hey, it's Dustin from Paddle Boss, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to increase your level of play, reduce your unforced errors, and have more fun playing pickleball simply by hitting the right shot and being in the right spot. We call it the right shot, right spot framework. Most beginning and intermediate level players, the 2-5, 3-0, 3-5 players, really struggle getting to 4-0 and beyond because they're hitting the wrong shot from where they're at in the court, and they're always positioned in the wrong spot on the court. So let's just say you're at the non-volley zone and you're standing and you're looking over the net. The portion of the court that you're going to be able to see, if you're an average height person like me, of the opposing court is going to be this much of the court, okay? You'll basically be able to see from the kitchen back. If you're taller than me, you'll actually be able to see a little bit of the kitchen. If you're shorter than me, you'll be able to see a little bit less of the court. But that's basically what you're going to be able to see. Let's pretend for a second that your paddle has eyes, okay? Where your paddle makes contact with the ball, you want it to be able to see as much of the court as possible if you're hitting aggressively. So at eye level, theoretically, if you make contact aggressively with the ball at eye level, your paddle is going to be able to see this much of the court. If you make contact with the ball up here, you're actually going to be able to see more of the court, which is why that's even more of a higher percentage shot. But the lower you go when you volley the ball, okay, so let's say eye level lets you see the whole court. If you now volley at shoulder level, that's still a good shot because you're still able to hit downward on the ball. But all of a sudden, your percentages went down because the eyes of your paddle can only see about this much of the court now when you're volleying at shoulder level. So that's still a good shot because you still have some court to play with and you can still hit that aggressively. But you'll notice that you're going to hit more balls into the net or more balls out of bounds because the lower your paddle goes when you make contact with that, the less it can see of the opposing court, which means you're playing a little bit lower percentage. Now, this is the same reason why we don't want players to be speeding the ball up at waist height. If you speed the ball up at waist height, you either have to take pace off, have extreme topspin, or allow gravity to do its work to keep the ball in bounds. But if you speed the ball here, your paddle can't see any of the court anymore. Your paddle actually at waist height is seeing about this, okay? So that's why speeding up down here is not a good idea unless your opponents are way out of position and you can just kind of flick it and get it between them. Down here, you're generally either hitting a line drive even with the net, giving yourself very little margin over the net, or you're hitting up on the ball a little bit, which will be your opponent's strike zone. You're hitting up on the ball, they're gonna hit it down back at you, okay? So that's not a good shot. Patience is really important in pickleball. Wait for that ball to get higher so that you can put it away, allowing your paddle to see most of the court. Let's move back to the transition zone because this is something that we see a lot, is people speeding the ball up in the transition zone. I'm gonna say 95% of the time, that's a bad idea, and here's why. When you're standing in the transition zone, what your paddle is able to see, even if it's at eye level, is only about half the court. But you're never hitting the ball at eye level when you're in the transition zone. It's usually already bounced, you're moving your body and you're hitting it at your waist, in which case, your body can't, or your paddle can't see any of the court. So you don't want to be speeding the ball up here because you're probably going to hit it at the net, or you're going to be hitting it right into your opponent's strike zone. They're waiting for you at the non-volley zone and they're going to put the ball away, okay? So that's just not smart pickleball. It's not patient pickleball, and that's just not a good shot. So back here at the baseline, same rules apply. Usually, well, actually all the time, the ball has already bounced and you're moving your body in a position where you can hit the ball successfully. You got two options when you're at the baseline. Your opponents are probably at the non-volley zone, okay? You're probably hitting your third or your fifth shot. And you can either drop the ball in the kitchen, okay, right here, make it unattackable for your opponent so that you can advance to the non-volley zone, or you can drive the ball, and I recommend driving the ball, say 60 or 70% pace. That way you can keep the ball successfully about this high over the net, somewhere between 1 and 12 inches over the net. And if you do so, the same rules apply for your opponents. They're now volleying the ball about belly button high, which means their paddle, when they make contact with the ball, can't see very much of your court. And if that's the case, they either have to take some pace off the ball to get it into the court, or their ball's gonna go out of bounds, or they're gonna hit it into the net, or they're going to give you a volley that's pretty shallow. This shallow volley allows you on your fifth shot to then drop the ball in the kitchen, a few steps in, and we're able to make it to the kitchen. So that's a great shot and a great reason to drive the ball. When you're at the baseline, we're not trying to do passing shots. This is a small court. They've got 2 people on the other side. They're waiting for that shot, okay? So we're not trying to rip the ball so hard to hit a passing shot, because unless you're a pro, your percentages of hitting that shot consistently are probably pretty low, which means you're gonna hit a lot of balls into the net, wasting the opportunity on your 3rd shot, or you're hitting the ball out of bounds, or you're hitting into their strike zone, so they remain on offense, hitting it aggressively at your feet. You remain on defense, you never make it into the kitchen, okay? So that's why at the baseline, we're not trying to drive the passing shot to be able to hit a winner. We're only trying to set ourselves up to be able to hit a smart shot to get into the kitchen. So it's all about patience in pickleball, but if you use this framework, the right shot, right spot framework, you're gonna notice that you're hitting less and less unforced errors, your points are getting longer, you're outlasting your opponents more, which essentially means you're going to win more points. Let me ask you a question. Are you a beginner or intermediate player that wants to get to the next level, make less unforced errors, and have more fun playing pickleball? If that's the case, then I want you to click the link down in the description, which will take you to a page that'll show you our 4 days to 4-0 challenge. Inside the 4 days to 4-0 challenge is an online course that teaches you a lot more about the right shot, right spot framework, including dinks, drops, and volleys, and how to make less unforced errors with those shots. When you enroll in the 4 days to 4-0 challenge, we're also gonna throw in a couple bonus trainings on paddle grip and paddle spin, and we're gonna send you one of our signature paddles in the mail, the Spin Boss Pro. This is a premium paddle, Kevlar face. We think you're gonna love it. And when you enroll in the 4 days to 4-0 challenge, we're gonna send it to you absolutely free. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, go ahead and click the link down in the description. If you wanna enroll, go ahead and do so. And we look forward to seeing you inside the training.